I think I need to back up. The stalk craziness here. This car is so fun. I want this car. I want this car. I want to go into drive, please.
Thank you to our sponsors for today's video, InfyPower, Eaton, and Ionna. InfyPower is the largest EV charger module provider with over 3 million power modules running reliably worldwide. Their latest G2 collection features ultra-high power density and efficiency for EV charging and energy storage. InfyPower, innovation for your power. Also, Eaton. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure, hardware, and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. And Ionna, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, Ionna is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave.
Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video, and welcome to a video I'm super excited to share with you. This is the Renault 5, and that's the car I am most hyped for this year. It's a cheaper electric car, but it has so many cool features. It is said to drive really well, and there are so many things I want to explore about this car and share with you. As the sun sets here in Norway, I will show you a full tour of the car, everything on the outside and the inside of the car. We will drive the car together, and we will of course also charge the car to see if it's possible to road trip this thing. I am super excited for this car and this video, and I'm also going to do something special. I will compare this to my BMW i3. And the reason for comparing the BMW i3 to the Renault 5 is to show you, the viewer, how far cheap electric cars have come. So first it will be the Renault 5 review, then I will circle back to the BMW i3 to show you how far cheap electric cars have come. And in the end, I will conclude the video. I will find out what kind of upgrades you get with a Renault 5 over the much older BMW i3, which has been my daily driver for 1.5 years. I really want this car, to be honest. This is a car that I have researched everything about to make sure that it is a car for me. But in this review, we will see and make the decision if I should buy this car. So here is the frontal design of the Renault 5, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. They did such a great job styling this car, and people look at this car everywhere you drive. Everyone likes the design of this hatchback. So you have the main headlights here with the viewfinder inside. I think that's trim specific. So if we lock the car and unlock the car, there we go, we can see the viewfinder in the main headlights, but we also have these running lights down here, which are also this viewfinder design. And when this concept was, I think it was announced in 2021, I thought the car looked amazing. Well, this car exceeds the looks of the concept, in my opinion. It looks absolutely stunning. They did a perfect job on the styling of this car. I don't know what else they could have done. They have these cool viewfinders that you will find around the car as we go on an interior tour. You will also see these viewfinders anywhere else. I don't know if these are called viewfinders, but I call them viewfinders because they look like viewfinders. We have this, these headlights are I don't know, it gives the car not an angry look, but it's difficult to explain. I love how these headlights look as well. I think it's perfect. You have like a black bar here. You have the Renault logo in stainless steel or brushed aluminium, I don't know, but it looks like some kind of metal inside here. It's probably not metal. And then we have a black bar here until we reach the other headlight. Looks absolutely stunning. It's very minimalist in the front here, but we do have a little grille here, and we have some ultrasonic sensors. And yeah, just the frontal area just looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. What do you think about the styling of the Renault 5? The side profile, again, we have a very large normal door here and we have a smaller door here, but we do actually have a door handle here as well. It's kind of hidden, like you can see, but like it has this hatchback, very hatchbacky shape that some people like and some people don't like. If there is someone that has done the design of a hatchback right, it's Renault here, because it just goes like this and then slopes up here. It's a pretty short car. It is of course a small car like it is supposed to be. I think it looks great. On the side here we also have a number 5. This is a design that we that you option with the car. There are a ton of options that you do on this car, and some of them are very simple for Renault to implement. Like these are just stickers, these are also just stickers, but they are options in the configurator, and combined with a ton of cool colors, very poppy colors, you have just endless customizability. I can't remember the number of combination or that they presented, but there were so many combinations that you could have on the Renault 5 here. And you can also see that this iconic trim is optioned with some kind of red accent around here. And honestly, yellow is not my color at all. It's not the color I prefer at all, but in this case it looks amazing and it just fits the car so well. I'm pretty sure the yellow is also the free color, which is absolutely insane. This right here is the charging indicator. You can see that we are at around 60-70% now, so it's almost all the way lit up. As you deplete the battery, this will be reduced, and I think this is a super cool, unique design thing that I'm very happy that Renault has been able to include on a car this price. I absolutely love the battery indicator here, and it makes the car a little bit asymmetric, and it fits perfectly with this type of car in my opinion. The charge port is on the front driver's side, which in Norway is the front left side, and that's where you always will find the charge port for the Renault 5. It's completely manual without electronic release. And here we have something interesting. Let's see if you can see on the camera. There we go. You have the AC port open, ready to AC charge immediately. You also have a button for actually turning off timed charging. So if you have timed charging for like different prices through the night, you can turn that off to charge immediately. You have an unlock button for the charging connector, which is awesome to have. And you have the DC pin thing here, which is kind of hard to remove and just dangles like this. I wish they also removed this one, but or did have good covers like BMW or other automakers. I don't like this little flap, but that's just nitpicking. Overall, it looks pretty nice, and I like that the AC charge port at least is open, because this is something that you would normally use every day if you use home charging or curbside charging. In the rear, we have a ton of cool stuff. We have these amazing rear lights. We have a window washer in the rear, which many modern cars don't have because they think that it won't get dirty in the rear here. It will always get dirty, so this is an awesome addition in my opinion. Other than that, in the rear it's not much to say. It says Renault 5. They're very proud of their branding, and they really should be, because this is just iconic. And we can open the rear hatch and you can see that it's manual. Okay, now it's time to check out the interior of the Renault 5, and it really shines. I will tell you that immediately. So when we move to the rear, because we always start in the rear, we have the manual trunk, we have the wiper and everything, and it feels pretty cheap. This feels like an old school car's hatch, which is quite interesting. It feels like a 90s car, but that isn't necessarily bad. It's kind of fun. And I like manual hatches. I have nothing nothing against having manual hatches to save money. So here you have the interior space, and you can see that my camera gear here, bring your own cable is here. You don't have any space in the rear here because we have the Harman Kardon subwoofer there. We have some drinks, and you can see that we have quite a lot of space here actually. And I think I and many other people agree that they should have maybe sacrificed a little bit of this space to get a better room for the legs of the rear passengers. You have a light here which is very, very yellow in color, and you have some hard plastics here. Hard plastics behind here, no carpet to dampen things here, but inside here you have carpet all the way actually. It doesn't feel premium at all, but you don't expect it on the price level of this car. I think they have done a perfect cost-saving thing here. Yeah, and something that I like with cars that have like a flat roof here is that it's easier to have a dog cage, because you can't have a dog cage here because the crate door will crash into this like here. So yeah, that's something to note. You have fastening points here, and you have, oh, we can see into, wow, look at this. This is French engineering for you. You can see some of the solder paste or whatever that is called over there, and you can see that we have the connections to the rear LED light inside there. Wow, it's kind of fun, to be honest. Doesn't matter at all. You have this partial shelf. Can you remove it? Yep, you can just remove this thing if you don't want it. Most people just remove it immediately, and then you can see, wow, the rear seats are actually pretty thick, and we can put down the seats and it'll crash into that seat, of course. The same with this one. Let's actually put down the seats properly here so that we can see how much loading space we have. Manual, everything is manual with this car, and yeah, I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't mind that the car is a little bit manual, especially when the price is right. Okay, so here you have the interior space when the seats are down. It's not completely flat at all, but I hope you get an idea of what kind of items that you can bring. I would say that this feels more spacious than the BMW i3 inside, but not far off at all. And here we can see that we have the beautiful interior in the rear as well. Let's just close this one and jump to the back seats. Back seats are important as well. Actually, when the seat is placed in a good position, like this one, you have plenty of space back here, and you can see you still have space there. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable to sit like that. Okay, I'm going to try to sit behind myself. I know that this car doesn't have the best rear legroom, but I'm 176 and I'm trying to sit behind myself right now. And I can barely fit. But I do like to sit very far back and very low down, so it might not be representative that if you sit in a more normal seating position, it might be okay, but here it's super, super tight, and that's one of the major downsides of this car, to be honest. You have so little space for your legs, but I don't know, it should be able to fit someone inside here. So aside from the legroom being pretty bad, I would say, I don't really hit the roof. It's completely fine, and the roof itself is beautiful. I absolutely love this roof. It just looks great, and I think it's retro inspired. I think some kinds of original Renault 5s actually had this kind of roof, which is quite interesting. You have these ones that you can turn off. That's lights in the rear. You have the cheapest looking speaker grill I've ever seen, ever. But I don't personally mind it, of course. You have very cheap door panels here. Let's take a look. Hard plastics, hard plastics, hard plastics, hard plastics, hard plastics. Everything is hard plastics here. Let's listen to the door thunk. Okay, the door thunk feels not too bad, to be honest. but the doors feel a little bit hollow. And that's one issue with this car. It actually got 4 stars in the Euro NCAP. I think the main reason was side collision impact. These doors are thin steel doors, very cheap, and it's difficult to reach the rating that you want in the modern Euro NCAP, of course. So here we have the beautiful branding. Again, this is the top level interior. This is the best interior you can get, and it's important to note that the car is still affordable. So we have this beautiful fabric material. It almost feels very well, it actually feels like a Volvo material, to be completely honest. That's the closest thing I can compare it to. And this yellow color is absolutely amazing. You have this fake leather all the way around here. You have no cup holders in the rear, and you have no rear climate vents, which is a major miss in my opinion, because if you have a dog, you would want the dog to sit here, I think, and you have no climate for the dog, which sucks. This is also hard plastics, but you have again some fake leather here. This entire thing feels exactly like a Model 3 rear compartment and a rear seat, or seat back, sorry. And yeah, window switches feel more premium than anything else on the door panel. You have a glossy black door handle, which is plastic of course, but it actually looks pretty good. But I'm not very fan of glossy plastics because they are notoriously hard to clean. But to be honest, it feels great. The action feels great, and absolutely no frills there. So this is the rear interior. I think that's everything that you wanted to see. You have ISOFIX in both of the rear seats for child seats. And yeah, you also have a middle seat here. That's important to note. This is actually a seat that you can use and sit in. The BMW i3 doesn't have a middle seat in the rear. And in this premium interior, I don't know if this is included in all interiors, but you get these nice mats. Actually, they feel super cheap, to be honest, so they're not that nice. Yeah, let's move to the front. This is where this car shines. Just look at this. This interior is just amazing. Wow! I can't believe that this is a cheap car. Let's start with the door panel here. So here you have this beautiful cloth or textile, wool almost feeling material. On the side here you have hard plastics around, but you actually have this fake leather here. You have a compartment here. You have switches here that feel good, not amazing, they feel good. Nice to have 4 switches. Imagine other automakers like Volvo and Volkswagen making only 2 window switches when this cheap car has 4. Insane. The cheapest looking speaker grill ever, but honestly, it's fine. It's completely fine for this type of car, and it doesn't bother me at all with the price point. Actually, I'm rather impressed with the actual seating materials and everything in this car and how it feels. The seat feels amazing to sit in. I love how the seat feels. It grabs you. It feels perfectly fine. Great to drive in the curves. It will hold you in place, and they feel more sporty than I thought initially. You have a 5 logo there. These are the pedals. Nothing exciting about those. You have parking assist off, and you have automatic high beams. I think in Norway automatic high beams are standard on all trims, if I'm not completely mistaken. Heat pump is also standard in Norway. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's actually close the door. Let's turn the car on because it has an on button, unfortunately. But it has this beautiful intro once you go into the car and press the brake pedal. And it turns on the system, but not the full system. You need to press the power button there to get the full system and get the HVAC and everything else. I don't know where to start because this interior has so many different things. So Here is the stalk for the lights. Let's start there, because I need to just find a place to start. You can adjust the height of the high beams there, I don't know. Oh, anyways, auto high beams, and here is a blinker sound. Pretty loud blinker sound. Okay, we're done with the lights and the blinker. Here we have the cruise control, and we have the assist for driving on the highway. You start it by pressing this button. I don't know why the symbol is like this. I didn't understand that this was the driver assistance stuff at all. It's probably a good reason. And you can see that already we are getting fingerprints all over this car. This one is an almost new car, so pretty insane to get all these fingerprints already. That's because they choose piano black on the steering wheel, which I think is the wrong choice. But I want to give some creds, and that's these are real buttons. They are not haptic. They actually feel great. They feel amazing to press, and that's the case for these buttons as well. And this flip switch, you can use it to adjust what's on the steering wheel here. So you can have music, you can eco monitor, you can have distance you have driven, you can have the remaining range. Oh, it actually tells you the remaining range based on city driving. I have 190 kilometers, and if I drive on the motorway I have 92, but it's predicting that I have 140 with a mix of both. Interesting. I haven't seen another EV do this. Quite interesting there. We have the consumption, which is now 150 watt-hour per kilometer. Okay, and we can move it away as well. I think this one has to stay there, and then you have the map here, which is amazing to have the map just right here in front of you, and you adjust it on the screen here that I will show you very soon. So this one is to choose the driving modes, so you can choose Comfort, Eco, Sport, Perso, and Perso is the personal mode. I have set this up to a sport mode for driving. With my preferences, so I like a mode dial here. I think it's great. I don't like that it's piano black. Let's move on to the stalk craziness here. Look at this. You have this one, which is for, I guess, the media control unit. So you have your own stalk for media controls. You have your own stalk for window washer stuff, and you have the gear selector. And the gear selector is so interesting. Look at this. And the gear selector is pretty good, I would say. You can go into B mode there, but you can't go directly to drive. If I'm in reverse right now and the car is reversing, let's give it a little bit of go. Now we are reversing. I can't go into drive. It will just keep on reversing until I have pressed the brake pedal and then gone in to drive again. So that's quite interesting that it won't let you switch gears without pressing the brake pedal. So I couldn't find an option for this either, so I guess that's just the case of this one. Now, what is interesting is that we don't have a parking gear, and you say, okay, you have to press this one. This is not a button. So where is the park? Well, there is no park. You can put the car into neutral, I think. There. Now we are in neutral, but the car slowly is rolling forward because, actually quite fast it's rolling forward, because we are in neutral, so we don't have a park gear. So what do you do then? I think you can just power off the car. Yep, if you power off the car with that button, it'll engage the parking brake. The other option is to, of course, power on the car, go into drive, and then stop the car, and then use the electronic brake there. This is very interesting, and I think a lot of other journalists has also commented that this car doesn't have a parking gear to choose from. So that's all this stuff. Now let's talk about climate, but because climate is important. And here is something I really like about this car. Listen to these. This feels almost Porsche-like. These are just insanely tactile, like everything in a Porsche. I absolutely love this. This one as well. Very tactile. I love these buttons, and you have you can adjust the fan speed, of course. I have it on 1 right now to not disturb the video. You have the defroster and the rear defroster. You have auto climate, and you have recirculation. You have AC max, and you have some heating stuff, and you have off. And you can adjust this, including the locks for the car. You can lock the car from this with tactile controls, and it doesn't stop there. You have tactile controls for the air vents, so you can adjust them any way you want. And here you also see the viewfinder that you can see on the outside of the car. I absolutely love this. You have 2 USB-C ports in the bottom here. You have auto hold here, which you should always have on. I turned it on once, and I have just needed to keep it like this. You have a 12-volt outlet in there. You have a wireless phone charger here with, okay, well, it's a wireless phone charger or wireless phone heater. You have a compartment here, and you have this one with another compartment, which is actually pretty deep. Nice. So a good amount of storage. Do we have? Nope, nothing underneath here, but seems like there is a speaker grill there as well. And let's move on over here. We will return to the infotainment very soon. We have this Renault badging, and I drove through a tunnel and it looked amazing. I absolutely love ambient lights. Do you like ambient lights? And we have a normal glove box, which is insane to see in 2025. Just a normal glove box. Anything of interest inside here? Nope. Let's actually look at this registration sheet. It's registered at 1,541 kilograms. Renault 5 E-Tech Electric is the full name. Insane. Let's see here. Oh, you can tow with this car. 500 kilograms. You can tow 500 kilograms with this car. I think that's a class leader for the size of the car. Nice. Okay, so then we move on to just take a look at the seat. Exactly the same as the driver's seat. It's also manual, but on this top spec you get adjustable lumbar support, which is electronic. Nice. So you get something at least. Now that we are done here, aside from the infotainment, which will come soon, I think we will open the front, the frunk. Let's see here. It goes into neutral and the parking brake is on. Okay, I need to make sure, because this car is kind of scary when it doesn't have a park gear. Very, very French. Let's see if we can find. There we go. This was not easy. Here you can see amazing engineering. Absolutely no no frunk. But I think that's fine for this car. Of course, there is a ton of things here, and I can see that it naturally isn't any space for a frunk at all. And you can see that a lot of them things that are here are actually made in Europe, which is a thing that they like to talk about with this car. You can see the inverter there. That should be an inverter. And you have the front motor, the 6AK motor. I think it's called 6AK. And you have some coolant flowing and some stuff going on here. Quite interesting to see this. There is absolutely no point in hiding all this. Interesting. Absolutely love looking at stuff like this, but I won't bore you too much. Hey Renault, navigate to the North Cape. Okay, let's see if it does it then. Okay, so here we have the route. This is the most important thing in the car for me, is the route planner. And here you can see that we have 11 charging stops with 5 hours and 56 minutes of charging on a 1 hour and 1 hour and 27 minutes to the first one. Let's press start. We get the navigation updated in here, which is great. I absolutely love that type of integration. Here we have the first charging stop is a 39-minute charge, which is a little bit long in my opinion. Let's see if we have other. We have an 18-minute stop. That's more my style. 36-minute stop, 31-minute stop, 34 minutes. It's not really that bad. And the route planner seems to actually work, which is very nice. Yeah, I think this sounds like a great route planner. It was quite fast as well. Of course, it's based on the Google system here. And this one is equipped with the Harman Kardon system. It's pretty good, I would say. And you have the ability to connect your phone to Bluetooth. That's nothing new. You have on Android Auto and Apple CarPlay if you prefer to do that. But even better, in my opinion, is that you have Google Play Store. So you can download, for example, Spotify, which I use, or Waze and stuff on the car itself and not be dependent on your phone. So here is what I care about. So you have a ton of different options there. Here you have drive modes that you can click through and it'll change. I have configured Perso there. Perso, so you can adjust the driving and you can also adjust the life on board, which is more like the ambient lighting and stuff like that. You have hands-free park assist. I haven't tried that one. That's of course something to note. You have electric. So you have energy, program, battery, minimum battery limit. What? Minimum reserve. Well, I want 15 for the minimum reserve. I don't know what this is. Is this for the route planner? Minimum reserve. Wow. I'm used to this one. Daily, it recommends 80% daily or 55% daily. But not 50. It must be 55. Interesting. And journey is 80 to 100. Interesting. Apparently my eco score is 36 of 100 and our energy consumption has been 170 watt-hour per kilometer. Not too bad actually. And we have a bad safety score. Let's not look at this. Let's move here and yeah. Plug and charge enabled. Wow! Yeah, this car has plug and charge. Wow, that's... Oh! I need this car. I need this car. I love absolute everything about this car. Air quality. You have an air purifier. So this is just normal Google style settings for this Google based system. Can you customize? Yeah, you can customize. You can have whatever you want here. And here you have alerts and updates, which is great. This system seems pretty snappy, not super snappy or anything, but I think this system is also standard on all the Renaults. And when you get this route planner standard, I think it's pretty great. Let's go over some specifications for the Renault 5. You can get this car in two battery sizes. You can get the 40 kilowatt hour or you can get the 52 kilowatt hour. This one is the fully spec one, so it has the large battery. I think the smaller battery has around 300 and something, 310 kilometers VLTP range, and the large battery has 411 kilometers VLTP range. Now, if you get a large battery, you also get a spicy motor in the front, which is around 150 horsepower or 110 kilowatts if you use kilowatts. If you go for the lower end model with the smaller battery, which is actually almost the exact same size as the battery in the BMW i3, which is interesting, you get a less powerful motor in the front here. You get a 90 kilowatt or 120 horsepower motor in the front. But just to be clear, this one is a fully spec iconic model with this 150 horsepower front-wheel drive motor. All Renault 5s are front-wheel drives, and this is also how the original Renault was set up, and a lot of Renault's cars in general are actually front-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive. I will talk more about how this feels on the road, and I will see if it's actually fun to drive in the driving review, so stay tuned. It's coming later in this video. And yeah, that's of course the configurations that you have. At the lower end, if you go for the small battery and low on options, basically zero options, there's still a little bit of standard equipment, of course, but this car starts in Norway at 22,000 euros. What an amazing price. If you spec it up to this one, it's 28k euros, which is an amazing price as well. Well, so you are wondering if this is a permanent magnet or induction motor. Well, what if I told you it's neither? It's a wound rotor synchronous motor, which is what Renault calls it. I think it's also called an externally excited synchronous motor. In some cases, it's the same thing. Basically, they use an electromagnet with windings on the rotor instead of permanent magnets. So there are no rare earth metals used for this motor. What they do pay with is efficiency. So this motor is actually a little bit less efficient than a permanent magnet motor, but it handles in the same way. You get the good instant acceleration and it feels great to drive. That's a spoiler for when I'm jumping in the driver's seat. This type of motor is actually something Renault has been doing for over 10 years. In the original Renault Zoe, they also had like the same type of motor, and that's the strategy that they go for. Of course, it has been developed throughout the times, and it seems to work very well right now. If you go for the small battery version, you will actually get 80 kilowatts of DC fast charging. Not class leading or anything, but it's like okay for an urban commuter. If you go for the large battery, that charging speed is bumped up to 100 kilowatts. What this tells me, that the little difference in charging tells me that the large battery might just be another module or two. I don't know how the batteries are set up, which is quite interesting. So yeah, we will test the charging performance later, of course. This car is around 1,400 kilograms. It's a little bit dependent on the battery, of course, but it's pretty light for being an electric car. It's of course not as light as the BMW i3, but it's actually getting quite close, I would say. So let's just get stuff set up here. So this is actually the key, which is enormous. This is the largest key I've ever seen. I don't know why it is this way, but I think this is the start of many weird things with this French car. Is there a place to put the key? Maybe here. Okay, so I will put on my seatbelt. The first thing I notice is that the seatbelt is easy to pull, and we have manual seats, of course. So the first thing I need to figure out is how you turn on the car. There is a power button here, so I'll try to press that one. And all the symbols come up here. And the steering wheel is super light. I can feel it already. Adaptive cruise control is active. We have 74% state of charge. This is the gear selector. So I'll go into drive or B, and off we go, actually. Nice. Okay, so we are creeping forward. Let's check the one pedal driving tuning, because we have no one pedal driving in this car. So we are driving now in B mode. We are driving at 8 kilometers per hour, and as we ascend a little bit, it goes even slower, and then it picks up speed to 8 kilometers per hour. So this car is coasting at 8 kilometers per hour. I will activate auto hold, and we are now holding. So if I do like this and then brake, I don't need to hold the brake. The car is stopped, so it has auto hold. This is not one pedal driving, by the way. Now I have figured out the AC. I almost was cooked alive inside here, but I just used this physical button, which is super satisfying, by the way, to change our temperature. I can feel a little bit of cold air coming. Oh, there we go. Manual adjusted viewfinder vents, which I think is amazing. This is a much better solution than electronically adjusted, in my opinion, even though I don't mind it as much as other people. So this feels great, and we are in auto hold, so there is no park gear in this car, which is quite funny actually. But we should just be able to do this. Oh, the brakes are super sharp. Wow. And then brake and then drive. So the auto hold is, I know it grabs the brakes like absolutely crazy. Okay, so the steering is light. You can also adjust this. We are in sport mode again. Let me just put in a destination here actually. So that's the sound of the blinkers. Let's do displays start, and I don't need the voice. Okay, there we go, and I will go out here again, and let's see here then. How does it feel? Oh, the AC is nice. That's cool. It's important to me that the AC is actually good. It feels great in this car. So now I have the map of where I'm going in the screen here. Keep in mind that this is the first time I'm driving this car. I have not driven this car earlier, and this is the absolute first time I'm checking it out. So I need to be used to all the controls and the steering wheel and stuff. But just from like ease of driving, I would say that this car is amazing, because I'm able to drive, I'm able to put in a destination, I'm able to just get on my way, even though I have a total time in this car of under 90 seconds. So this one is a little bit noisy. I try to reduce the noises around so that you can get a feel for how this car sounds when it's driving on the road. So having the Google Maps integration, first impressions is that this is great, because you have good navigation, which is a thing that Google has, actual good navigation. There are other automakers that use other systems that vary in quality between countries. Google Maps is always good, so that's great to see. I also don't necessarily use CarPlay that much. I'm not really a fan of CarPlay. I'm not a fan of having my phone connected to the car really at all. So this is a great solution, and having it in the gauge cluster, the Google Maps, is phenomenal. So I know exactly where I'm going. So now we are going out on the highway, and we will test the driver assistance. We will test the acceleration. So let's see, is there anyone behind me? Yep, but I'll be able to just floor it. And okay, not fast, not super fast. And I'm coming from the BMW i3, which is not a fast car either. So yeah, let's see here. Nissan Leaf in front of us. Anyways, how does it sound now that we are on a highway? If you have seen Norwegian highways, this is how they look, and it's a very slow speed right now. But honestly, this car feels so much more isolated from the outside than the BMW i3 I just drove here in the BMW i3. This one feels so much more isolated. It feels compact. It feels like it has a ton more noise isolation, and even a little bit of weight to it in kind of like a good way. The BMW i3 can feel a little bit flimsy, and the seating position in the i3 is way worse than this car. Here you can sit pretty low, and honestly, the seating position is a significant upgrade over the BMW i3. It's even the Model Y, which I'm very used to driving, has a seating position that I don't like at all. Here it's much better. You're not sitting completely on the floor. I'm wondering if you can actually adjust that, but you're sitting pretty low, and you have great control of the car and great road feel. So let's just overtake this Nissan Leaf. Pretty sharp driving response there. Okay, so I've been cruising in the comfort mode. I just changed the mode with this dial on the steering wheel while I'm in cruise control and lane centering, which is called active assist in this car. And honestly, it feels great. It holds the lane smoothly, it takes the curves smoothly. Of course, this is not a very curvy road, it's a motorway after all. But honestly, it feels great, and the fact that it doesn't swerve out to the side when we have Norwegian on-ramps like here, You can see it doesn't swerve out to the side like the Tesla does, like other systems does, because you lose the right side markings. Here it grabs the left side marking and holds us comfortably on the road, no dings. I have also confirmed that the steering wheel is capacitive, which is awesome. You just need a little bit of pressure on the steering wheel and the alert goes away. The driver assistant in this car feels great. I need to test it a little bit more, but honestly, on the highway, absolutely amazing. Let's test some curvy roads, and just a disclaimer, I'm no performance driver, but I will try my best. So for driving, I will have the motor in sport, I will have low steering assistance, and I will have dynamics in sport. This is a perso mode, which means that you can access your own driving mode from the steering wheel very easily. Let's see here. I want to go into drive, please. Power, there we go. Of course, the power state is a little bit weird with this car, and I noticed that with legacy automakers that they have this ignition that needs to be on to be able to drive. So that's what I was doing there. Anyways, this is a personal driving mode. It's very similar to sport right now because I've set everything to sport basically, and low assistance. It's dry, it's safe outside. We will keep within the speed limits, but we will have some fun with the car to see if it's possible to have fun with this car. And the window is open. There we go. I don't need the windows to be open. Oh, it's so silent once you close the window. That's nice. Let's try not to destroy anything. And full send out of air. Okay, okay. I'm limited by traction. Okay, there we go. Into the sun, finally. Wow. Okay, so the car feels faster up high than the BMW i7. I can tell you that immediately. It feels much faster once you reach, I don't know, the threshold of around 30 kilometers per hour. Now it feels much faster than the i3. I was a little bit worried in the beginning because the acceleration from 0 isn't that great, but now it feels faster, for sure. The brakes are extremely good. The brakes are just wow, and it turns on the hazard by just braking a little bit, which is strange. There we go. The brakes are the most aggressive brakes I've ever felt in a car like this. Okay, let's go. This car is fun to drive, I can tell you that immediately. Very responsive to the steering wheel. A little bit flexible feeling, but not in a way that the BMW i3 is flexible. The BMW i3 is just a hilarious car to drive because you feel like sometimes you feel like you're driving a van and sometimes you feel like you're driving a sports car. But in this case, this car, you don't feel the speed at all. So it's easy to get tickets in this car, I would imagine, even though you just have 150 horsepower. It's insane what I've been able to do. It's so fun to drive. I promise you, this feels much more fun than the BMW i3, which I can compare it to. It almost feels, the suspension feels better than in the Model Y that we have. And the Model Y that we have is a 2024 model, so it's not or the 2025, it's the legacy Model Y, so it doesn't have the best suspension, even though it's better than the earlier Model Ys. This one feels more compliant once you go over bumps. You feel more isolated, and as a feedback to you as a driver, you gain more confidence to drive faster because you don't feel like the car will tear itself apart when you're driving. And it's plenty fast. It's plenty fast. This car is fast enough for everyone, honestly. Okay, let's go through here. Wow. Okay, here we can do a launch. Okay, let's go. Oh, launch. Oh, very, very slow. And then at 30, 40, 50 kilometers per hour, it kind of picks up. Okay, so it's not a fast car in the acceleration sense, but for like driving these types of roads with curves, it feels plenty fast, to be honest. I love driving this car fast. This is a car that's fun to drive fast, honestly. Wow! I was kind of impressed because it didn't feel like that in the beginning. It was just a comfortable cruiser on the highway, which is great that a car can be both. Just fun in the curves, great and comfortable on the highway. I must say I'm seriously impressed by this car. Wow! And the brakes are hilariously aggressive, I would say. Holy ho! Wow! Just insane braking performance. Feels like super aggressive sports brakes, almost to the level where it might be uncomfortable if you need to like brake when you're going very slow, because the car unfortunately doesn't have true one pedal driving. So yeah, might be a little bit annoying actually, but in this case for driving here it's perfect. This car is so fun. I want this car. I want this car. I really, really want this car. Honestly, it has just blown me away with everything so far. Everything I check out, I'm just like, oh, this can't possibly be good at all. And then it's just amazing. It's just amazing. The seat materials, just amazing. Just, oh, I love this car. I absolutely love this car, and I kind of need to figure out a way to get one. I think it's properly powered for the kind of car it is, and the price point. It's properly powered. It's fun. It got a soul. It's front-wheel drive. I never thought a front-wheel drive car could be fun to drive, but this one is. I promise you, you will take this out. Maybe not on a track, but of course you will have to take it on a track. But it's probably more fun on like curvy roads where you don't have to like have maximum performance all the time. But honestly, it's just fun, and we can overtake people. So in situations like these, when you have bikers, you want to actually be able to pass the bikers in a safe manner, and then you need proper power on the car. And this car is absolutely no problems with doing that. So I think this is a properly powered car. Just a great feeling car, to be honest. Absolutely amazing. And here, people, this is the reason why you need a small car in Norway. If you drive up these roads, there is barely any place to pass. Here you can pass people here, but if you like come into a corner here and you meet someone head on, it can be pretty dangerous, to be honest. But yeah, I've just enjoyed my driving with this car in my perso mode with everything dialed. I think I've found my seating position and everything, and it just feels great. Oh, there is a bus. Wow, this will be fun. I think I need to back up. Let's see how this works. It's weird backing up this car actually. It's very sharp steering when you're backing up as well. Interesting. Wow, nice. It's a nice car to reverse. That's a very important part of the review, in my opinion. So let's get until we are at the complete edge here. There we go. And everyone can pass into drive, and it'll automatically go into B mode actually, if that's what you last used. And auto hold is also persistent. Nice. So you don't need to do these settings every drive cycle, I think, which is nice. I would always want to have this car in B mode. I would always want to have auto hold. So yeah, I think that's nice. And as we continue up this very tight road, let's see here. A little bit of tire squeal. Good steering feel. A little bit slow to pick up after we have come out of the turn. Let's see here. Let's hope we don't need to back up again. Nope, this guy was very nice. Through the forest. A couple of notes now that I'm here. I just needed to pick up some stuff. There are no proper cup holders, and that was not the point I was getting to. The thing is...
Let me introduce myself a bit.
No thanks.
Okay, no problem. You can call on me anytime by saying, "Hey Reno," followed by...
Well, the audio stopped working, so there was a bug, right? And this was really slow, and I tried to reset it, but it worked just going into the store and then return. I just had to get some stuff. So yeah, the software is nice, but it does have a few small bugs here and there. And now that I walked into the store, a proper reset of the system, I have my audio back so I can listen to music. What I also wanted to mention is that we are at 30%, we're trying to get down to 10%, and it's kind of difficult to run this out of battery. I know that sounds stupid, because EVs always has the problem that you have to run it out of battery. But yeah, I've been through the only motorway around here, back and forth to try to run down the car, and I still have 20% more to run it down. So that's quite nice. I'm not saying this is a range monster or anything like that. I can't do a proper range test right now, but I let's see here, 155 watt-hour per kilometer consumption. That's an insanely good consumption, actually. I don't know over how long period. Anyways, I just wanted to complain that it's difficult to run out of charge, and that's a general thing that's difficult with car reviews. You need to run them down, and it takes so much time out of your day, so I try to get them at as a low state of charge as possible from the dealers. And there is also a fly inside the car, which is super annoying. I can't get rid of it, so that's annoying. And I also wanted to mention that the driver assistance systems continues to impress me as I do this. I think we have preconditioned and we are ready to start the charge here at these chem power units. 150 kilowatts, plenty for this car, 100 kilowatts rated. Let's see if we can somehow reach that charging speed. I'll just authenticate the charger and then connect it. Let's see if it works. 10%. A little bit more, please. Well, that's very close to 100 kilowatts, I would say. Let's see how it develops. Is there anything? There we go. What's this? Oh, it's all the information. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it says it's supplying everything that it can. Let's see here on the charging screen in the car, it shows kilowatts, so everyone needs to learn from this. You should show kilowatts. I am actually a little bit unsure if I was able to precondition. I did have something in the navigation, but I don't know if they recognize this as a charger. I don't know if the car says if it's actually preconditioning or not, but it's 15 degrees outside. We have driven on the motorway. We have been driving all day, so the battery at least shouldn't be very cold. And I see that we are actually at 92 kilowatts now, so it's not throttling down like crazy. Since this is a small battery, it will feel pretty fast, the 92 kilowatts that we get here. I do wish that this car had faster charging speeds. 150, 200 would be extremely nice, but again, this is a cheap car, and you have to remember the price of the car when looking at charging speeds. And when people say that the Chinese have faster charging cars, well, they do. Wow, 98 kilowatts now. They do, but that's more expensive cars, at least in our markets and stuff like that. So the cheaper Chinese cars like the Dongfeng Namibox and a few others, and the Koreans, the Inster and stuff, everyone has this around 100 kilowatts charging speed. So that's important to note. That's what you are competing against here. So I don't expect this car to actually charge that well, and it's unfortunate because it'll take a little bit of time on longer trips when there is a lot of highway. But the initial range of 411 kilometers VLTP is very good. It's class leading for the price. I don't think you can get any other electric car that's so cheap but has so great range. And the battery is small, so 100 kilowatts means a little bit, and it's still at around 100 kilowatts, 99 kilowatts now, and we are at 20% already. So we plugged in at okay, now the CAMPower unit says 100 kilowatts and 99 kilowatts into the battery here. Very, very nice to see that it gets its advertised charging speed. I'm just wondering, when will it drop off? Because now we are at 20%. It needs to keep this charging speed longer to be good or not annoying at road trips. By the way, there is a truck charging there, which is awesome. I think he might be charging a little bit faster than I do. You can see the charging port down there. The CAMPower units are perfect for this kind of application. I absolutely love the CAMPower units. The CAMPower units are just fantastic because they show you information. I think the new ones show even more information. The new ones have even faster capabilities. These are kind of like the old generation CAMPower satellites. And you can see all the power cabinets over there. Okay.
Hey, let me introduce myself a bit.
Wow, that's super annoying.
Okay.
So I think the car is in some sort of demo mode where it wants to show me the assistant all the time. I really hope it is, because I wouldn't want a car that's so annoying, but the assistant is actually quite good. That's something very nice about the implementation that they have done for the assistant. It can do a lot of things, so that's very nice. So 95 kilowatts now, 96, it's just around 100 kilowatts, I would say. I wouldn't say it has dropped off yet. So let's follow and see when it drops off. Okay, everything I have is running out of battery now, but I think that's no issue. We are at 50% and we are at 76 kilowatts. So I don't know, it kind of sucks, this charging curve, but I already knew that coming into this. But we will charge to 80% before we move on. And this recharge, which is the charge point operator, is taking like 6 kroners per kilowatt hour. So it's like double as expensive as the Tesla superchargers that are right down there. So I should have gone there instead. Something I did notice is that the route planner seems to be quite accurate. Oh no, not this guy again. I like that this context menu just jumps down and it says disable traction control as an option. It suggests that I should disable traction control, kinda. That's hilarious. Anyway, I did navigate to this charger, so I did see that it said 10% on arrival, and it was 10% on arrival. So that's my proof that the route planner seems to work pretty okay. Now we are down to 68 kilowatts at 57%. This is quite a slow and bad charging speed, I would say. But again, for the price class, it's still okay, I guess. For around town, there is zero issues because you charge at home and then you never have to go to this DC fast charger. I just wish, and I know it's possible to make a battery that's like flat 150 kilowatts on this battery size would be plenty. By the way, since this car has kind of like an ignition and it turns off the wireless charger, it's super annoying. You can actually, this is a trick, you can hold in this button, I think. Permanent ignition activated. And I think it will actually stay on now while I'm leaving the car, so that my phone can charge, which is very, very nice. I think that's a trick that I just learned. What's very sad about the charging speed being 60 kilowatts at 68% is that this isn't very far off the LG batteries that Tesla put in their cars. And these batteries are significantly larger than the 52 kilowatt hour that you find in this car. So that's kind of something to think about when people complain about the charging speeds. Even though Tesla actually advertised 250 kilowatts as their charging speed, that's a peak rate. So we have to always look at the curve. And yeah, 48 kilowatts at 79%. We are soon at 80%, and we have been here. We came at 8:08. Now it's 39, so we have been here for, let's see, 31 minutes. 31 minutes. 31 minutes from 10 to 80%. Actually, that's not terrible. Well, it's not good enough in my opinion. I will always complain about charging, but for this car, for this cheap car, 31 minutes from 10 to 80%, well, I will live with it. So let's move on. Now we are jumping over to the i3. This car, just like the Renault 5, has a manual hatch. And it's a manual hatch only car. The battery in this car is exactly the same as the base Renault 5, around 40 kilowatt hours gross. For fast charging, we have 50 kilowatt fast charging on this car. That's compared to the Renault 5, which is 80 kilowatts on the smaller battery or 100 kilowatts on the larger battery. It has a quirky, fun design, just like the Renault 5, but to be completely honest, I think the Renault 5 looks better. This car has manual seats only and can't be optioned with electronic seats. The Renault 5 is also manual seats only and can't be optioned with electric adjustable seats. This car also has just one motor, just like the Renault 5, but it's in the rear. And here we have 135 kilowatts on the i3S model, which is a significant upgrade from the 110 kilowatts or 150 horsepower motor in the front of the Renault 5. This car has an official certified VLTP range of 280 kilometers. That's less than the cheapest Renault 5 and significantly less than the big battery Renault 5. And now for the big reveal. This car is kind of similar to the Renault 5. You agree with me? The charging rate is actually worse and the range is also worse, but it has a little bit more power and it's a rear-wheel drive. Of course, the interior is a little bit different and there are other differences, but in general, it is kind of similar to the Renault 5, a little bit worse in my opinion. Now for the big reveal, the price of this car. When this was new, in 2019, this is a 2019 model, it was 35,000 euros. 35,000 euros is not only more expensive than a base Renault 5, it's more expensive than a fully spec'd Renault 5. Yes, a fully spec'd one. So the base price, but this is not a base car. This is a car that was, when it was new, cost in Norway 45,000 euros. So if we compare fully spec to fully spec, there is a 17,000 euro difference in price, where this one is much more expensive. If we compare base to base, we are talking about 13,000 euros difference. 13,000 euros difference. And this car is missing a ton of other features that I didn't show in this comparison as well, with the aging tech and everything. That just tells me that we have come so far with our cheap electric cars that people actually can afford to buy. And it's just so amazing to see Renault just continue the development from the i3, it seems, and just make a super awesome, amazing, affordable, and great looking small electric car. So in conclusion, you can get a base Renault 5 that's almost half the price of this car, with the same amount of features, better range, better charging. It's just insane to see. Half the price. I love how this car looks. I love how it drives. It has a good route planner. It charges not that great, but it's still an absolutely insane package for the price, in my opinion. This is not only just a great EV. At this price point, in other countries where you actually have conversion cars still, I would still buy this one for sure. It's so fun to drive. I didn't expect it to be fun to drive. It's one of the funnest cars I've ever driven on the road. It feels great. The seating materials inside is amazing for the price. I think they're not trying to be something they are not. They are just using the materials that can fit the price point, and they choose the absolute best materials to do so. And again, the styling, the funness of this car, little fun hot hatch, and yeah, just so impressed with the Renault 5, and I was already hyped for it, but now I have tested it and I think I need to go and buy one.